We have new details on the push for property tax relief. Governor Mike DeWine today signed sweeping reform into law.
With the signing of these bills, no longer will families see dramatic spikes in their real estate taxes.
Property tax relief is now on the way for homeowners all across Ohio.
About 3 years ago, Governor Mike DeWine signed a package of about 3 hours ago, rather. Governor Mike DeWine signed a package of 5 bills that could save property owners billions of dollars over the next few years.
10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash was at that bill signing and joins us now live from the State House. What are the key things about these bills, Doug?
Well, Jeff, the key thing is that lawmakers say these bills could save taxpayers about $2 billion over the next 3 years. The governor says the work of the legislature and his property tax reform working group really achieved a delicate balance. Applause and handshakes after Governor Mike DeWine put pen to paper, signing 5 property tax reform bills into law. He says the measures meet 2 goals:
Protecting our schools, fire, and other local services while bringing about significant relief for homeowners.
Lawmakers say the bills could save taxpayers about $2 billion over the next 3 years. The legislation prevents unvoted property tax spikes by establishing a new inflation cap credit. It prevents increases in school district property taxes from exceeding the rate of inflation.
School districts are not going to see a cut.
Paul Imhoff is the government relations director with the Buckeye Association of School Administrators. He says the state will fill the void initially of any lost funding for school districts, but the bill is not perfect.
We definitely believe there are going to be some growing pains for schools due to these bills, but we also believe that these bills represent a reasonable response to the situation we find ourselves in with property taxes.
Imhoff says the collaboration and compromise on the bills is an example of how government is supposed to work. Now, school leaders will need to adjust to a new normal.
But our superintendents understand that we need to reform property taxes because what's happened over the last 4 to 5 years cannot happen again.
The governor says the reforms are needed because Ohio has a property tax problem.
With the signing of these bills, brings about meaningful tax relief, and it brings about clarity. And no longer will people see the spikes that they have seen.
The laws go into effect 90 days from today. Yolanda?
Well, Doug, this is really big news for taxpayers here in Ohio, and definitely a key issue we hear about constantly at our 10 Listens town halls. But, you know, there is a group taking property tax relief even a step further. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, Yolanda, the group known as the Committee to Abolish Ohio's Property Taxes is pushing ahead with its efforts to put a constitutional amendment on the ballot in November of 2026 that would abolish property taxes completely across the state. Despite what the governor signed today into law, that group says that they're doing this despite that. And the committee member that I've been talking to, Brian Massey, says seniors are being taxed out of their homes and younger people can't afford to buy a first house. He says the group isn't opposed to paying taxes, but they want property taxes shifted to sales, income taxes, or fees for services such as fire protection. House Speaker Matt Huffman has said in the past if the amendment passes, it will be a whole new world in 2027. And the governor said today it would really hurt essential services and cause a huge spike in the sales tax. Now, the committee that is pushing this amendment has to submit more than 400,000 valid voter signatures to the Secretary of State's office by early July of next year in order to get the ballot measure on the ballot in November of 2026. And they are collecting those signatures as we speak. Yolanda.
All right. Thank you very much, Doug.